What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dwight Tyree, and I'm here with a brand new video. And today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about the most watched movie right now in America, the movie that everybody's watching. Shout out to Jordan Peele, the creator of Get Out, and the movie I'm about to talk about, Us. So before this video even starts, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, and stay tuned. You know, I got some things coming up. So yeah, alright. So boom, I'm also eating golden crust, and yeah, I took it out the container, so it looks like it's homemade food. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like food sometimes don't look as good on camera as it does in real life, because I'm eating oxtails, rice and peas, and cabbage. Mad good. But yeah, so it's kind of like a solo mukbang video, if you will. But anyways, let's get into this movie. I'll have to check if I'm still recording. Let's get into this movie. So boom, it starts off with a young girl. She's at a carnival with her family, and she goes to the beach and wanders off alone, and she goes into this place, into this room. And before I even finish what I'm about to say, let me just warn you guys that if you did not watch this movie, I suggest that you watch this review afterwards, because there are going to be some spoilers in this video. I repeat, if you did not watch this movie yet, you better click this video off, because I'm about to spoil it for you. Alright, so boom. Just like this girl, she's at a carnival with her mom and her dad, and she wanders off onto the beach. When she goes to the beach, she sees like a weird like kind of building or room, and she walks inside. And when she goes inside, she sees all these mirrors and images of herself, and it's a dark room. So she's just like looking around, trying to figure out like, alright, where am I? This is cool, like, you know. And then she gets a little scared because there's a dark room and it's like a scary place. But the scary part is she turns around and there's another girl that looks just like her, but she's not an image of herself. She's not a reflection of herself. She's not like from the mirror. She's a real life person that looks just like her, exactly like her. So she gets freaked out, and from there it goes straight into like her now with her family and her kids, like, because it starts off in the 80s and then fast forwards to present time. So we go into present time after we see that scene, and throughout the movie they're doing flashbacks back and forth to this time period when she's a kid, where she goes through this traumatic event where she sees somebody that looks exactly like her, to now when she's an adult. And you can see how this event affected her as a person and changed her tremendously. Even there's one part in the movie where show a flashback of her as a kid, and after that day where she saw the person that looks just like her, after she saw that person, she was not talking anymore. She just changed as a person. Like, she just changed. This has really affected her, and as you can see throughout the movie, it's affecting her mothering, like how she is as a mother. So let's get into that. So as an adult, she's now an adult. My bad, y'all. I have to eat some of this food. I'm chatting. Yeah, it's good. I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk and eat. I feel like mukbangs are so hard. Y'all can't even see what I'm doing. I got me like an orange soda. I try not to drink soda that much, but anyway, give me a second. Let me sip on this and I'm gonna continue. Okay. So where was I? Her as an adult. So as an adult, like, she's like, this affects her parenting skills. And you can see it affecting her as a person, like this traumatic event, because they show her as a kid and her mom is in, like, you know, she's in the office, like they're in therapy or something, the mom and the dad, and they're saying that the daughter changed, and the mother starts crying, like, I just want my daughter back, like, she doesn't talk anymore, and all these things. Like, ever since she saw that person that looked like her, it really mess with her. So after that, we go on to her now as a parent, and she has kids and stuff, and like they're on their way to the summer beach house or the summer home. It's not really a beach house, but they have a summer home. They're on their way there, and there's a lot of different symbols that I noticed throughout the movie. Okay, the reason why she changed so much is because when she saw the reflection of herself, the person, but that wasn't really her, you know, the opposite, like the copycat of her, the clone of her, let's use that, the clone of her switched places with her. So the clone, you know, grabbed her and put her in handcuffs and locked her onto this bed in the basement with all these other clones of the people of the real world, and the clone basically took over her life. And that's why in the movie she's the only one that can speak, is because she's the real life version of the girl. None of the fake people can speak. I forgot what they call them, but I call them the clones. The clones cannot speak, and she's the only one that can speak the whole time. So that's one clue right there that lets you know that this is a real person. Another clue is, or another, you know, symbol or hint or whatever you want to call it, is throughout the movie she's in handcuffs. The main character, Lupita, whatever, she's in handcuffs throughout the movie because she's basically, the real version of her is basically putting the fake person in handcuffs, you know, because that's what she did to her. She put her handcuffed on the bed, so throughout the movie she's in handcuffs, and it's like kind of a reflection of what she did. Another thing that made sense, that when I thought it through, is because about the movie, that something that made sense, something that stood out, is the fact that, did you realize that this family took so long, the main character's family, the opposite, the clone version of them, took so long to like kill them. But when you look at the other families, like for example the neighbors, the clones of the neighbors killed them instantly in like less than 30 seconds. They came in, boop boop boop. But you know, the main character's family is taking so long to kill them, the clone version of their family, is because of the fact that she wants her to suffer, to give her, you know, payback for what happened back in the day, what happened in the 80s when she switched bodies with her. So she's taking her time trying to kill this family. Another thing, at the end of the movie, the son looks at Lupita, the mother, whatever, and he's just staring at her. And the whole time, it's like he's looking at her as if he knows that something's not right, and she smirks. So that smirk is also something that's like, so she knows that he knows that she's, you know, the fake version of her. She's the reason why everything's happening. She's the reason why there's outrage and all this stuff. But when you think about it, it's like, who's really the bad guy? Is it the clones? Because they want to live a better life. They're stuck in these tunnels and stuff, and they can't do anything. They're eating raw rabbits. And then there's you know, the real life people who don't know anything about them, and they're finding out and they're dying because it's like, what the heck, they're trying to kill me because they want revenge on me, but I didn't even know this, you know, existed. So it's basically like, you know, the government had to do something behind the scenes for this to happen, something we don't know about. And they even talk about the government, you know, trying to control us in the movie, because when they're in the car, the daughter says that when they're on their way to the summer house, he's like, you know, sometimes the government, there's rumors that the government put things in our water so they can control us. That was like symbolism. That was like, you know, she was kind of like throwing in that little hint. The government tried to control us probably with these clones, and that's why, you know, the failed experiment. So they just lived in the tunnels, you know, and we are living in the world not knowing that they did this, and now we have to sacrifice. So that was an interesting statement that was made. And also a lot of like people were saying that it symbolizes the underdogs taking over, because the underdogs would be the clones, like, and they're trying to take over, they're trying to, you know, fight back. So that could also be a thing. Another thing that stood out to me is that I was hearing that a lot of people were thinking that the sun was switched, and I think that might be true when I thought about it, because the sun, he's always playing with this lighter, trying to do this magic trick. The clone version of him has a burnt face from the nose down. Why is he the only one that has such a different look. You know, everybody else's character pretty much looks like them, even if it's like a crazy version of them. But why is he the only one that, you know, has an injury that, you know, the other one doesn't have? And then on top of that, people are saying that it's possible that maybe the son, you know, was doing the magic trick with the lighter. If you notice, always playing with the lighter, burnt his face, and the mom probably was like, oh nah, and switched him with the other one. So I'm not really sure how it could have happened, but that's the rumor that probably could have happened. Like, you know, they could have switched real quick, and yeah. And if you notice, that's why the mom is so distraught at the end when the clone version of the son kills himself, because that's her real son, because she switched him. And I really think that's true. I really think she switched him. And that's why he's the only one that knows that the mom is not really, like, you know, that she switched too. Because he switched himself. And, yeah, that kind of had me thinking about it for a little while. I'm like, wait, Jordan Peele really thought he was slick. Like, this is crazy. So, yeah, I think that the son was switched. You know, Lupita, as we know, was switched. I don't think that, you know, the dad and the sister knows about the son being switched. Yeah, I don't know. This movie was really dope. I would say, I would give it 4.5 or 4.8 stars. You know, almost 5 stars. The only thing I didn't, you know, understand was, it was just like certain parts I really felt like it could have been more of a war between, you know, the bad side. But I feel like there could have been more of a fight with the bad side and the good side. And I also feel like, you know, I feel like it could have been, I think that's what kind of he goes for though, is Jordan Peele. He wants you to be kind of confused, but I feel like it could have been a little more clear, because it's like, I keep thinking about it. Or he needs to do a review like I'm doing and tell us, okay, this is what happened, this, and this. Because there's so many questions I still have about this movie. Like, why, you know, Hands of America? Why that out of all things? You know, what happens next? Because at the end of the movie, if you realize, it looks like they're going to take over. Because they're all holding hands on the highway, and it's like miles and miles and miles of these clones. So it's like, and then people were saying that it could connect with Get Out, because you know how, you know, it talks about control and social status, because in Get Out, you know, white people have more privilege than African Americans, which is the case in real life. Let's make that clear. And in us, you know, these real people have a higher social status. We can do what we want, you know, we could go for what we want, we can eat what we want, we don't eat raw rabbits, and they're forced to live in these tunnels and stuff like that. So there's so many things about this movie that I really like, because it talks about, it's like fictional, but it can relate to real life, and that's what I really like about Jordan Peele's movies, is that he may make a fictional film, but it relates to real life. People could relate to it. It's things that happen every day. And yeah, if you, like I said, if you didn't see it, I think you should see it. You definitely should see it, because it's worth seeing. His movies are really great. Like, this is the second time. Two for two, you know. He's really killing it. He's really killing it. And, yeah, so if you didn't see it, you should see it. If you saw it already, you should see it again. Because I plan on seeing it again one of these days. So I got to find time when. But I do want to see it again, because I feel like once I see it again, I'm going to catch on to things that I didn't catch on the first time. But anyways, on another note, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I feel like I might have left some things out, because I feel like I was on the spot, just went off like what was on my head. I should have probably wrote some things down, but if you feel like I left something out, just write it down in the comments, let me know. Make sure you guys check out my previous video. I'll attach it to the end of this video or in the bio. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, Prince with 2 I's, 2 E's, and an underscore. And I'll see you guys soon. You know, we out here. You already know. Brooklyn, we go hard. Pause. I don't know.